Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm coming to you today after Rangers' massively disappointing 3-2 loss at home to the Orcs at Ibrox. We shot ourselves in the foot, we completely blew that, we should have won that match, and only ourselves to blame that we didn't. Criminal defending for all three goals, and it's cost us, and then we just did not react at all. It was almost like when Celtic went down to 10 men, that instead of grabbing the initiative, our players, rather than go for it, almost thought, oh right, okay, now we have to win, and it was almost like the pressure got to them. Very, very frustrating. And of course you cannot miss chances like Morelos missed again, 2 more bad misses unfortunately. Until he gets more than one now probably in these matches, then that question mark's going to hang over him. And the really frustrating thing is that he again had a really good first half in particular, and I think that was probably the worst thing for me, is that I thought we looked like scoring every time we went forward in the first half, but each time after taking the lead, Josh Windass with a cracking goal in the second minute, and then Daniel Candeias putting us back into lead. Each time we sat back and we invited Celtic onto us, and of course they're going to come onto us, you know, they're a confident side, they should be, and they responded. But the second goal was just a nightmare. You cannot be caught with one long ball over the top like that. And yeah, we were unlucky that we lost David Bates to injury, although you could say he didn't do that well for the first goal, but he was injured in the tackle. But we then, you can't lose a goal like that. You just can't. And the Celtic third goal is criminal, because there's only one thing you can do, which is turn inside and have a shot. And there's 3 guys of ours there who all they need to do is show them outside, and none of them does. And it's a good finish. And that's the difference today, is that Celtic, and we spoke about this on the show, we need to take our chances, because they probably will, and they did. Good finishing from the Celtic players, poor finishing from us. The Morelos miss at 2 each, I think you could probably look back and say turned out to be the turning point, because he misses, they go and score. Similar in the first half actually, when he is about to go through but wanders offside. And that's the frustrating thing about Morelos, because he did play well in the first half. He absolutely ragdolled Ayer, and we should have taken advantage of it. But instead of each time we went at goal ahead really pressing on and driving at them and trying to get it, we almost kind of went, right, you know, let's keep calm and not lose a goal, and of course invited them on, and they're a good enough side that they're going to get goals against you if you do that. And that's what happened. The manager afterwards, I've only seen a brief interview, but he spoke about how he felt that we didn't do when we were up against 10 men, we didn't do what we should do and what we're good at, which is try and, you know, play the ball inside and make chances, work them in the edge of the box. And he's right, we didn't. We started crossing from deep, and they ate that up. And we just didn't look as though we had any belief in the last 15 minutes. So it's a sore one. I mean, it's an absolute boot in the balls, and there's no doubt about that. There's no point trying to hide from that. Against that, and maybe this is just me being a hopeless optimist, but I couldn't help but look at that and think about the progress that we've made from the first game at Ibrox earlier this season, when we couldn't lay a glove on them, didn't look like laying a glove on them, and today we could, and we showed we could. And I think had we been a wee bit more proactive, and that's something the manager has to take responsibility for, I think, had we been a bit more proactive each time we took the lead, I think we would have gone on and won it. But until we do, we can't keep saying, well, I think we could have, I think we should have, we, you know, had to do this, we had to do that. You've got to go and do it, you've got to go and prove it. But we are closer. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There's still a gap, clearly. You can't deny that there's a gap. That would be foolish. But we are progressing. And when you think about it, this team has been put together 2 months ago. I know that those players have been there a while, but this team, this version of it, got put together in January. And there's no doubt we're moving in the right direction. The direction of travel is good. And I think we've spoken about this before, that we need to remember not to throw the baby out with the bathwater in terms of progress, because, yeah, they're not where we want them to be yet, but they are moving towards where we want them to be. And it would have been great if we could have just put together a side in January and it turned out to be a title-winning team, but unfortunately real life isn't like that. It might take another window, it might take another year. You just have to hope that there's still that forward momentum. And there can still be, if they react to it in the right way. Now, I'm sure we'll get the usual, or we'll learn a lesson from this. learn a lesson from it. Don't tell us, show us that you've learned a lesson from it. We don't want to feel the way that we do right now. You don't want to feel like that again coming off that field. Learn from your mistakes today. Don't back off them. Don't pay them too much respect. They do have good players, but so do you. You know, I thought today, you know, their £25 million fullback was roasted by Candace and Tavernier. I thought Murphy, especially because I don't think he was fully fit, but he looked as though he was capable of going past his man consistently. Their defence is rotten. I'm not saying ours is much better, incidentally, and I think that this probably puts to bed the whole Cardoso thing. I think Cardoso has benefited from the you know, that thing that we have in football, when a guy doesn't play for a while, he becomes a better player in the minds of people. There's a reason Cardoso is the fourth choice centre back, and I think he showed it today. Not that I'm singling him out. I don't think anybody in that back four can say that they defended like Paolo Maldini today. So Morelos is the question. As I say, how do you solve a problem like Alfredo? I don't know, because he does play well and he does do good things, but he misses. I mean, that second chance, you know, come on, you have to score. There's not even any point coming out with a kind of pithy line about it, because he's got to just put it away. It's a yard out, and all you need to do is get it on target, and he fails to do that, and it costs us a point. And it's, do you lose, you know, what else he brings to the team to have a more reliable finishing in there, which I think Cummings probably is. I don't know. But that's Graham Murray. He has to make that decision. Secondly, substitutions again, and we speak about this on the show a lot. It's almost like he gets kind of caught in a state of mental paralysis, and kind of like, well, I could take him off, but he's doing all right, and he's always liable to get me a goal, and maybe I'm better. And then he doesn't do anything. Whereas today, you've got to give credit to Rodgers that he takes off Rogic, who's, you know, a cracking player and has done again today, and he puts on Edouard, who turns it to grab the winner for them. You have to do that. You've got to have the balls to say, right, I'm making this big call, I'm making this big decision. And again, it's Murty's learning. You know, that's another thing we need to remember. He's learning his trade at the moment, and it's frustrating for us because we see the guy making mistakes, and we wish he'd done it in someone else's time rather than ours. But that's what's going to happen. So where do we go from here? Well, we go to the next game, because if this is a blip, then that's okay, and they learn from it. We've got another crack at them in the semi-final. I can't wait for it. I think we've shown today that we can hurt them. We just need to have that belief, and it is the old catch-22 that, you know, you'll get more belief after you beat them, but you need more belief to beat them. But they're not what they were. That's the thing. Celtic aren't as good as they were, and we're a lot better. The gap is most certainly narrowed. I don't think anyone could watch the first Old Firm match of the season and then this one and not suggest that. But we've got to, as I say, make sure that you take the kind of pain from today and turn it into a positive, and make sure that you don't put yourselves in those positions again in the future. But I mean, at no point do you look at that side and think, well, they're going to get trounced 5-1, which, you know, we were at last season. It was 5 going on 10, and that's a good thing. Guys who played in their first game today, Goss, Docherty, even Murphy, etc., you would expect to improve. I think we do need to look at seeing if we can integrate Cummings into the side. Windass, great goal, but again, can you afford to have a guy in the side who doesn't have a lot of defensive responsibility? Because even Morelos, you know, puts in a shift up front in that regard. Windass really doesn't, and maybe sometimes you think, right, he can do special things, but I'm going to sacrifice that for more energy. I don't know. Again, this is something that the manager's going to have to look at. I'm sure he will. He's got 2 more chances. He's fortunate in that regard. The semi-final's a massive game. I still think we can win it. But, you know, people are saying, well, it'll give Celtic more confidence. Celtic have confidence, and quite rightly. You know, they've been winning for a few years now. It's not about what Celtic do, it's about what we do. We shot ourselves in the foot today. We blew it. Had we done the right things, we would have won that game. We didn't. Celtic took advantage, and they will continue to take advantage until we do the right things. The difference is, I still believe that this team is capable of doing the right things. They just need to look at today what they did wrong and make sure they don't do it again. But we lost, and we pick ourselves up, we go again. We've been through far worse these last few years. Always remember that. This is not our darkest day. We've had far darker. And we'll pick ourselves up and we'll get ready to go again. We always will. You know why? Because we are the people. Thank you very much for listening. Speak to you again soon. Bye.